Hey, everybody, Michelle is here. So I just want to send this out to the creatives, the 144 210s, the ones that are are aware of a mission and a mission of expanding our consciousness, and that everything should have been from the beginning about our consciousness. And that's why we had the messengers. That's why we have the teachers that continue to come back reincarnation after reincarnation after reincarnation to remind us that it's about the consciousness, stupid. That's what you want to say sometimes to people, because if they knew that what our material lives were about, it was about the expansion and elevation of the consciousness, I think that would relieve almost 99% of the chaos and destruction that we now are faced with, and which are irreversible, unfortunately. But at the same time, what I would say to people that are creatives, and just continue to create, because in 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, in the future, people are going to find your work. Just like people are continuing to hold on to quotes of people that have long left us, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 years ago or more. We're still holding on to quotes. We're still holding on to knowledge that those personalities bestowed upon us, and they're going to last with us forever and ever and ever. But just something happened, particularly with certain parts of our evolution, and I think that happened in the 1800s, where a series of factors happened where we started to devolve instead of evolve, in our consciousness, and it became a state of emergency, actually, which caused several factors of things to exist and occur. And we're not going to talk about that right now, but around the 1800s or so, there was a state of emergency. And the state of emergency is that the teachers and the messengers at that time realized that the population was getting out of control, that we were procreating in mass numbers, where it was going to become unsustainable in the future. And unfortunately, those messengers were right. That yes, we've gone way out of control with our population, and it's a critical state of emergency right now that will not be understood until several decades, hundreds of years in the future, or maybe even more. Because the descendants are going to come upon a lot of our efforts or our non-efforts, and understand and realize the chaos and destruction that a current mass of people are causing, and they're going to wonder, what in the world were we thinking? And like I've said on many other videos, we were not thinking. Unfortunately, that's the paradox, I guess, if anybody wants to say. We're not thinking, and that's where the crucial emergency continues to exist, because we're not thinking, and we're putting all this pressure. Because I said we're putting a lot of pressure on people that genuinely are willing to help. There are some people in politics, believe it or not, they're genuinely and sincerely attempting to find solutions, but they always are getting the backlash of those of nefarious purposes who do not want a solution. They want this. They want this. They want this cycle of chaos and destruction to continue. They don't want a solution. They don't want peace. And there's a lot of that in America. There's a lot of elements of people in America, mostly those encased in negativity, that do not want peace, because that would affect their bottom line. You understand me? If there were peace, that means that they couldn't keep piling up on the dough or the materialness or the wealth or the illusion of power and royalty and such. All of these so-called leaders, or these people who were pushed to the top of the pyramid, most of them, I would say 90% of them, maybe 95%, I'll even say 99% of them got there via fraudulent means and purposes. Okay, they either stole something from usually people of color, the black race. A lot of things were stolen from the black race of people, and which caused these non-black people, usually a European descent, to just propel to the top of the pyramid, and now they're untouchable in wealth and greed. And they're up there always plotting in the top of the pyramids, always plotting to control, to destroy, and to eliminate. Okay, so it's going to take hundreds, thousands of years for the majority of the population to accept this reality, and that's fine. It's still our responsibility as teachers and messengers or disseminators to put it out there, so that when whoever's ready to pick up information about what happened, they'll be able to pick up information about what happened. None of this stuff is destroyed, no matter what people say. They may destroy the means of how it's transmitted, but at some point it'll be uncovered, just like every other treasure that's buried and supposedly hidden away from the majority. So I find it so amazing and fascinating, all of the black history that's being unhidden, and now for the world to see what was taken away from the world, as far as the knowledge of a certain culture of people. So, and how it can be done right under your nose and you not know it. So a lot of people ought to be, non-black people, black people, we're not surprised by that. I mean, it's a frustrating and exhausting to know that, yes, some of our achievements, accomplishments, knowledge, and innovation and such has been hidden, destroyed, or placed in caves, stored underground, destroyed, and this and that, the other. And so it's nice that some of it's being uncovered. Because keep in mind, a lot of these people at this pyramid level are idiots. None of them are not as educated as they come across. They bought Harvard degrees. They bought Princeton degrees. They bought MIT degrees, and they didn't read a goddamn thing. They have no idea what's in the Constitution, and they can care less, because that's not what they operate off of anyway. All they do is throw that in the faces of the population when it's election time. Okay, but they're going to be passing laws. They're going to be passing ordinances. They're going to be passing every aspect of control measures towards the population, and they're going to be able to do so because we're so overcrowded and so overpopulated. And it's going to be next to impossible to get us all to be cohesive and to agree. And we need to keep that in mind and not be discouraged by that. We are going to, a lot of cultures, more so specifically the black culture, you're going to have to separate from the mass chaos and destruction to save yourself. You have to. It's not saying that you don't love people and that you won't help if you are required to help, but you're going to have to separate yourself from this mass collective destruction and chaos happening. Okay, the planet is on its way to being destroyed from the inside out. Okay, and that's going to be via nature. Nature is going to take over again. So I just want to stress that. And again, sometimes you have to repeat yourself. And a lot of us know that. I mean, there's knowledge that goes back thousands of years that we still are benefiting from. And those were the people that were properly discerning, properly judging, and properly forecasting certainty. And they knew via calculations and behaviors and such that there was a certain outcome to expect. And that's called prophecies. That's called whatever you want to call it. A lot of people have been giving us these messages and teachings for thousands of years, and it still goes on, where people ignore it. And that's the reality. So just stick with it, have fun with it, smile about it, because you do have some reasons to smile. You do have reasons to smile. And I hope I can put a smile on everyone's face this morning, wherever you are, all over the world. I want to send peace and love all out. And you take care and trust me. I'll be back.